Oh, yeah, baby. Three Kings boxing back up in the motherfucking building. Let me tell you something. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's been kind of stressful, been kind of difficult, it's been kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get up. See, like at my age, I got to take Viagra just to stand up out the bed in the motherfucking morning, right? But today, I'm geek, man. You want to know why I'm geek, man?
What is that?
Dog, I don't care what nobody say. One of the best fights that I could think of that I know I'm going to watch, I'm going to get my money's worth, might be happening at the end of the year. Kazuda Ioka might be defending that motherfucker against Kosei Tanaka. Oh, I was geeked when I saw that, dog. I was geeked.
That's a dope ass fight, but we ain't gonna talk about that on this podcast. Not this one.
That's fucked up. So we gonna
Like that shit gotta wait till tomorrow, bro. That shit gotta wait till tomorrow, bro.
We gonna do the niggas like that.
Hey man, it is what it is, man. We gotta wait till tomorrow. We got an audience, man. The motherfuckers be wanting certain shit. We gotta wait till tomorrow. Look, he was like, what? What exactly, bro? Exactly, man.
He said now.
Oh, he wanted now.
That kid just said, oh shit, here we go.
That's a dope ass fight though, man. Like,
man,
dog. See, Kazuda, dog. All right, briefly, real quick, dog, real quick.
All right, real brief. We're gonna be brief.
Look, Kazuda Ioka's a bad motherfucker, man. Like he's the same
divisional champion.
Yep, 3-time divisional champion. You know what I'm saying? He was real good until he got some pussy and shit. Ended up marrying the pussy and then left boxing. Until, basically to his dad's dismay, like, man, what the fuck you doing? We on a roll. He's like, nah, man, I never had nothing like this before, man. This changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Nigga said, this changes everything.
Yeah.
Then finally the girl was like, okay, I don't want you no more. So she left him. Then he's back in boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he had one fight, and then after that, he fought Donnie Nietes.
Donnie Nietes beat him.
Donnie Nietes beat him. I think it was a split decision. But it was a situation where a lot of people were saying that he should have got that win, right?
Yep.
So what they did was Donnie Nietes ended up fighting Aston Palikte right after that. That was a draw. A lot of people thought Nietes won, but then Nietes dropped the WBO title. Yeah. And then they said, you know what? Because it's going to be Kazuda Ioka versus Aston Palikte. And everybody thought that was going to be a good fight because Ioka lost to Nietes and Nietes drew with Palikte. Nope. Ioka beat the shit out of Palikte, bro.
he beat the fuck out of him, didn't he?
Beat the shit out that boy, man. Captured that WBO title, and this is where we are today. I think he had a fight after that. I can't remember, but this is where we are today. Yeah. Javier Cintron.
I remember that fight. That was a dangerous title. That was a dangerous defense. I like that. That's dangerous.
Whooped Javier Cintron's ass. Now we are where we are today. Kosei Tanaka's held the WBO title in every division that he's been in. He's been moving up, relinquishing W titles and being able to fight for the next WBO title in the next division. So that's what the fuck he's doing, man. I can't wait to see this shit, bro. Look, Kosei Tanaka's probably one of the more all-around fighters in boxing, right? If you don't know who the guy is, go look him up. One of the most all-around fighters in boxing. This is the guy I told you about a couple of podcasts ago that fought one of the hardest hitters in boxing, Angel Acosta, when he was undefeated. And Angel Acosta broke both of his orbital bones, and he continued to fight and won the goddamn fight on top of that, right? Kosei Tanaka is a guy that can be right there in front of you on the inside, and you can't hit him. He's like that. Dude is good, man. But Kazuda Ioka's good, too. Ioka might give him some trouble, dog. I can't wait to see this shit.
I can't wait to see it from this standpoint. This is a tough one to call for me because normally in a fight of this magnitude where one fighter don't have, it's kind of like Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez. You knew Floyd was going to win because of the experience. Well, I don't know that here because fucking Kosei Tanaka has fought Ryuichi Taguchi, Sho Kamito, Angel Acosta. He ain't fought, you know what I'm saying? He ain't fought no sloppy motherfuckers.
Nah, man, he good ass dude, man. I'm trying to
you know what I'm saying, Jonathan Gonzalez. So he ain't fought no sloppy motherfuckers. So it's like Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if that experience would be enough because this motherfucker has proven that ain't enough when you fight.
It was good, man. I don't listen, man. Kosei Tanaka to me is very he's that next motherfucker at the lower weight divisions, bro.
Yeah, he is, man.
You know, I was talking about Noye 6 years ago, right? And look where he is now. Kosei Tanaka is that guy for me.
Yes, he
Currently.
is.
We're talking about him now. Shit, I've been talking about Kosei Tanaka for 3 years, man.
Oh yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he's going to end up being a pound for pound fighter. I mean, he almost is right now, bro. Actually, if he wins this fight, I had him at top 10.
Okay.
Josh, I had him at number 10. Then Josh Taylor beat Regis Prograis, and that moved Josh Taylor over him. So right now, Kosei Tanaka is like literally sitting right outside the top 10 pound for pound list for my pound for pound list, dog. If he beats Kazuto Ioka, he jumps right back in there. Trying to tell you, man, this is a good fight, dog.
It's a good fight. But like my man said, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, who knows? But we will talk about
okay. Shit, we already did, nigga. Start the show. now the show starts.
Now the show starts. As always, go to 3kingboxing.com for the latest and greatest what's going on in the sport of boxing. And right now, what's going on, hey man, I'm liking what I'm hearing from Tyson Fury. I don't give fuck what nobody say. I'm liking what I'm hearing from Tyson Fury because what Tyson Fury is doing. See, the thing for me, and if I think you guys remember it, Prodigy, I know you remember it, right? I said I don't know about Tyson because remember he was in his position before against Vladimir Klitschko. Then the nigga just, he just went off on some shit, right? So you can't judge his mental makeup because we saw him do this before. Then the nigga just kind of fell off. Okay, fell off, got out of boxing, went crazy, gained a lot of weight, went through depression, all that shit. His life took a weird fucking turn. But after hearing this, no, man, this is what Tyson Fury said the following. I'm finna give y'all what he said, and this is why I'm like, whew. Now on the flip side, I also see why Wilder's being kind of quiet too. Provided I beat somebody was, he was live and they was talking about something. You fight Anthony Joshua, he goes, provided I beat Deontay Wilder. It's not a given. When you've been beaten for the first time in your life, it can do two things to you. It can break you after seeing many times the bubble being burst, or it can give you that bit between your teeth where you're gonna get back and smash the guy's face in who beat you. So if I don't prepare like I did the last time for Deontay Wilder, like a Trojan warrior with no diet coach, no distraction, not doing any interviews, nothing, then I can't see myself winning again without the strict attitude, the strict lifestyle. If I go into this camp taking it lightly, thinking I already knocked him out, it's an easy fight. Deontay Wilder will most probably knock me into next week. I got to approach this fight as if I'm still learning, as if I didn't beat him the first time or the second time, and I'm still very hungry. I have to put on a fantastic display because on this level, now there is no room for error. One mistake can cost you big time. Hey, as my man, before I turn it over to him, what he said, Houston, we may have a motherfucking problem. Go ahead, HNIC. Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Nah, my computer's going out, man. Let me log back in real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, take over that.
So anyway, in any event, I'm liking what he's saying because here's the reality, right? There are a lot of fighters, and we just saw this with Andy Ruiz, right, fellas? Andy Ruiz won, right? Got complacent. We saw what happened. He came back in the rematch, lost. We saw this with Buster Douglas, right? He beat Mike Tyson, got complacent. We saw what the fuck happens. Okay? Boxing is full of guys that after they reach that plateau or whatever it is, they lose that focus. Tyson Fury's not losing that focus because the reality is he's in a better position now than he ever was. When he beat Vladimir Klitschko, there was no fame, there was no fortune, there was no glory, there was no parade, there was no motherfuckers catering to him, trying to kiss his ass. Well, none of that shit, right? It was just he beat Vladimir Klitschko. He sang a motherfucking song and took his fat ass home. Now, it's not like that no fucking more. This motherfucker got fame. This motherfucker got notoriety. This motherfucker got people all on his ass. He got contracts coming out. The WW fucking E is all over this nigga. All over him, dog. He's being presented on the world stage, right? So, and then the heavyweight division is packed. He named these other fighters that he could probably fight. He's talking about Junior Five, Luis Ortiz, Dylan White. He's naming all these stacked dudes he could fight that could build onto his legacy. So, a focused Tyson Fury, that motherfucker's gonna be a motherfucking problem, dog. I'm just saying that, man. We got my man Jay. We in these streets with the money bag. My man Jay. Jay said we in these streets with the money bag, huh, man? we got some kind of bag going on over here. We definitely got some kind of bag going on over here, man. At the end of the day, at the very end of the day, man, I'm liking what Tyson Fury is saying. Like real talk. And if Tyson Fury is talking like this, now keep in mind, one thing that he said that I do like that he said is when he talked about, not doing no interviews, anything like that. Keep in mind, Deontay Wilder has been very, very quiet. Okay, we haven't heard nothing from Deontay Wilder. That boy's been very, very quiet. So I'm wondering what's Deontay Wilder working on, because Tyson Fury is right about two things. Either Deontay Wilder has that sour taste in his motherfucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? He got that sour taste in his mouth that got him feeling some kind of way, to where he's like, man, I got to get this back. I want to be back there, because Deontay Wilder is a strong-minded dude, his goddamn self. Deontay Wilder is no weak-minded cat. Deontay Wilder is a dude that realized, hey, man, I got to get this get back. I got to get it. All right. My man right here was this. My man, Matt Mitchell, said, when Fury thinks it's going to be easy work, that's when he struggles. Oda Wallen is a prime example. He took that fight lightly and paid for it. I don't think he took it lightly. I think a part of Tyson Fury played around in that fight with Oda Wallen. He was just playing around because he probably didn't feel Oda Wallen was that big of a threat. But you saw what happened when shit got real. You saw how he turned it on. My man HNIC, go ahead, man. Jump in anytime, fam.
Hold on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what the fuck that was, man. All of a sudden, my motherfucking laptop started glitching and shit. You started going in and out. I was like, what the fuck? Got that damn circular shit just spinning out of no. My shit never fucks up, man. But it decides to do it right now when we're live, bro.
The fucked up part was we was on the motherfucker 10 minutes before this happened. That's the fuck.
Dog, I've been on this laptop all day, man. It never does this, man. Does it right now. See, that's the type of shit we got to deal with, man. But anyway, I didn't hear anything you said. I don't know what you said, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm gonna try not to say nothing that you've already said. But at the end of the day, man, with Tyson Fury saying what he said, this is basically the correct mindset of a champion that wants to keep his fucking titles. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So many times throughout boxing history have we seen guys that win shit, right? Or they're being, hyped up. They might not even be champions yet, but they're being hyped up in this particular light, or they're being put on this particular pedestal. You know what I'm saying? And then when they actually, let's say they win a big fight, then they go in and lose to a regular journeyman, or hell, they might not even won the big fight. They just did a step up into maybe a contender level type fight, and then end up losing big, or end up just getting beaten. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't take the shit seriously because of all the hype that surrounded them, right? Or as a champion, they didn't take the shit seriously enough because the person that they already fought, they might have trashed them, or the person that they were getting ready to fight, it was somebody that was ranked low on the rankings, or they lost to somebody else that they've already beaten in the past. So they just looking at him like, oh man, I'm gonna fuck this nigga up, man. He lost to so-and-so, I'm gonna boot this nigga ass, right? That shit has happened throughout boxing history, dog. You see what I'm saying? Case in point, most recently, Julian J. Rock Williams. We thought Julian J. Rock Williams was basically a guy that was focused. You know what I'm saying? Remember, when he beat Jared Hurd, he was like, yeah, dog, anybody want to fight me, you got to do VADA testing. It's mandatory. Remember, he said that, right? Nope.
Yes,
nobody wanted to, or basically, he wasn't fighting nobody unless you did VADA testing. He was going to be like the big time pioneer at really making sure that every last one of his opponents are going through VADA testing along with him, right? So we was like, damn, man, J-Rock is serious, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what a lot of other fighters need to be doing, man. This is the real nigga right here. But then he took Jason Rosario too lightly. You want to know why he took Jason Rosario so lightly? Because a guy by the name of Nathaniel Gallimore had knocked Jason Rosario out previously.
Mm-hmm.
And Nathaniel Gallimore is the same guy that J-Rock beat. Granted, it was by majority decision. But if you ask J-Rock, he doesn't think he beat Nathaniel Gallimore by majority decision. He thinks he watched him. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, man, this nigga already lost to Nathaniel Gallimore, man. I'm going to go up in here, you know, whop, 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 knock nigga out, you know, keep my titles. Nope, it's not what happened. So he's the perfect example right now as it stands, right? As somebody that was overlooking somebody, ended up getting the ass whooped. Shit, Anthony Joshua's another one.
Mm-hmm.
He overlooked the fuck out of Andy Ruiz. He admitted that. Why? Because he had a possible Deontay Wilder fight down the line, right? Or Tyson Fury, for that matter. And he overlooked Andy Ruiz and got his ass whooped. You see what I'm saying? So this has happened throughout boxing history. Tyson Fury, regardless of the fact that he mollywopped Deontay Wilder in that second fight, right? Regardless of the fact that he dominated him in that second fight, right? At the end of the day, he still needs to approach the third fight as if it was a fight, as if it's the first time he's ever fought this guy, right? Now, of course, he's going to Tyson Fury's a cerebral fighter, right? He's smart in the ring, he's got a high level IQ. So, of course, his style is going to be adjusted based on what he has learned about Wilder in 2 fights, right?
Very
Obviously, the second fight, he adjusted his style based on what he learned about him in the first fight, right? He's going to do the same thing in the third fight, but now it's a collection of 2 fights now, right? So at the end of the day, bro, his IQ is not going to allow him not to make the necessary adjustments based on what he's learned in the 2 previous fights. But the notion of him acting as if he's never fought Deontay Wilder is just to make sure that his mind is on track, right? He's not walking in here like, oh, man, I already knocked this motherfucker out, man, about to do it again. Because that's when you get caught. And that's when you end up losing, when you're thinking like that. When everything is all great, peachy, you know what I'm saying? The grass is green and shit. The sky is blue. Fuck that, nigga. The grass is brown and the sky is gray. Nigga, it's going to rain tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to think. You got to think that you will go through adversity if you're not basically on the straight and narrow, bro. And that's exactly what Tyson Fury is saying. Hopefully he shows us this, right? Because remember, Andy Ruiz said it. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking like this too before the rematch with Anthony Joshua. And look what happened. He was absolutely the opposite of what he said he was doing, right? So hopefully Tyson Fury is not just fucking talking and he's serious. Now, I'm more inclined to believe Tyson Fury is going to do as he says, because this is a guy that was sniffing that goddamn Sally Fields, as my boy Bo like to say, right? You know what I'm saying? He had that Monica Lewinsky on a plate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sniffing, right? motherfucker gained all this weight and shit. He was 722 pounds and shit. Got all the way down to like 250 something, right? A guy that can do that, right? That can drop the weight because he's serious about a comeback. I'm more inclined to believe him when he says, yeah, I'm taking this fight seriously and I'm going to continue to train like I did in my previous days for my previous fight, because he's already shown us that he could overcome adversity and do the things that he's supposed to do as a fighter. So I believe Tyson Fury. And as long as he does do this, man, he's going to repeat, dog. It's going to happen again, man.
Yeah, you know, I actually mentioned fighters throughout history who have reached that mantle top like Tyson and they fall off. I talked about James Buster Douglas. He reached that mantle top and, you know, he fell off. I talked about a plethora of fighters that for whatever reason, when they reach that hunger, that desire in them goes, it's like, damn, man, what happened to you, dog? Where'd it go? You know what I'm saying? It remember, just like in Rocky, when he told him, you lost that eye of the tiger.
All right. Shit, Nate Campbell was like that.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is with Nate Campbell, man, Nate really wasn't that good. I'm glad he beat Juan Diaz because I didn't like Juan Diaz much. But, you know, he was one of those guys. You know, he became unified champion and couldn't do nothing with that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Tony Harrison is one of those guys.
Sure.
Tony Harrison straight up fucking told y'all, man. He told y'all after the interview. This motherfucker said, they said, man, you know, Tony, man, what you got planned, man? What you going? He said, man, I'm about to go to the club, man. Probably fuck a couple bitches. That's exactly what he said. It's no fake news. The interview is out there on YouTube. Yeah. Yep. Like, I'm not just being vulgar and shit on here, man. That's what he said. He said, I'm about to go to the club. I'm fuck a couple bitches. No, when he said that, it was funny as hell. You know, it's like, hey, yeah, you know, that's what's up. But at the end of the day, bro, you got to live your life as a champion too, man. You know what I'm saying? So what happened to Mike Tyson, bro? You got to live your life as a champion, dog. When you become, listen, man, I tell people this all the time, bro. In school, right? For you dumb niggas that actually went to school, right? When you would get an A, you would get an A, right? It was easy to get to that A. But it was much harder to keep that motherfucker, bro, because everything after that had to be flawless. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be flawless after that, bro. You can't get no less than a fucking 90. You know what I'm saying? When you already have that A. It's the same thing when you're a champion. Getting to the championship is one thing, right? Getting the title shot, that's one thing. There's a hell of a motherfuckers out there that probably should never have been champion that were champions. Paulie Malignaggi. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them, right? So at the end of the day, bro, Barry McGuigan, right? So at the end of the day, in DeMar Johansson. So at the end of the day,
you said the most low-levelest motherfuckers in boxing.
I'm just saying, bro. There's a lot of them, bro. So at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day, getting to the title is not. I mean, it is difficult. I don't want to downplay it and say anybody can do it. I'm not gonna say that, right? But it's not as difficult as still being able to maintain championship status, because once you are champion, that's when you got to fight those dudes, right? Who did Paulie have to fight? He had to fight Adrian Broner. While I thought he won that fight, Adrian Broner was a more popular fighter, so he got the decision. See, those are the kind of perks that you got to deal with. I mean, you can deal with them as a prospect, as a contender, hell, as a journeyman. Emmanuel Augustus probably won more than he should have lost, or that he actually lost, because he was always getting robbed, right? So you can get that as a contender, a journeyman, you know, prospect, whatever. But it really becomes evident if you're a champion, right? And you're in a huge fight with a guy or a girl that has a bigger name than you, right? Delphine Persoon versus Katie Taylor, for example. Delphine Persoon, fucking champion for like 10 years or something like that, man. Probably not that long, but it was pretty long. You know what I'm saying? She got in a ring with a girl that had a bigger name than her, should have won that fight, but did not. Why? Because Katie Taylor had the bigger name.
Sure did.
Pretty much why. So those are the things that you got to worry about. You know, if the politics start becoming magnified and shit, right? The level of competition becomes much harder, right? Now you got to be much more flawless as a prospect and as a contender coming up through the ranks to get that title shot. You can make a couple fucking mistakes or two. You know what I'm saying? You could fuck up here and there in a fight, you know, go through some adversity and, you know, and come back. Well, as a champion, man, you can't do that as often because you're supposed to be fighting the elite. You see what I'm saying?
Point.
So it's much harder to stay a champion than it is to actually become one. And that's what Tyson Fury is basically showing he understands by saying what he's saying, right? He understands, yeah, I mollywopped this motherfucker, but that motherfucker still got that right hand. He's knocked out everyone. Everyone he's fought, with the exception of Johann Duhaupas, has tasted canvas. But everyone he's fought has been knocked out except Tyson Fury. So Fury, while he's, you know, the guy that survived, right? At the end of the day, he still understands that he may not survive if he gets off his fucking game plan in a trilogy. And it's especially more important because Deontay Wilder's a guy that's looking to get his fucking revenge, man.
Yes, sir.
Deontay Wilder's going to go in that ring like he has nothing to lose. That's a dangerous fighter, bro. And you got to be on your fucking P's and Q's when you fight him.
You know, it's funny you said, because you said something about you have to behave and conduct yourself as a champion. Anthony Joshua didn't do it. That's why he lost to Andy Ruiz. You're absolutely right. Lennox Lewis didn't do it. That's why he lost to Hakeem Rotman. Because that nigga stepped off his square. And Keith Thurman didn't do it either. For whatever reason, he got complacent and he lost his motherfucking self. See? And
Yep.
hence why he's in the position he's in now. You know what I'm saying? I told myself, I want to fight somebody. I got a contract signed. You know?
Yep.
I'm clowning him, but you are
You're right.
Yeah.
You're fucking right, man.
Yeah. See, the reason why you hate Floyd Mayweather is because at all fucking times, that's what he did. It's what he did all fucking times, right? And the fact, and Tyson Fury he makes a very good point. Sometimes when you taste defeat, that's why Lennox Lewis came back like he did. Matter of fact, he took Rodman to court and said, motherfucker, no, you fighting me next, bitch. I want my shit back. A man that has nothing to lose is a dangerous fighter. That's why Marcos Maidana beat Adrian Broner. I ain't got nothing to lose. The fuck I got to lose? I'm finna get in here and mollywop your ass. Okay? That's why Emmanuel Navarrete beat Isaac Dogbe. See? That's why Jason Rosario beat like Julian J. Rock Williams. A motherfucker that ain't got nothing to lose. Especially when you see the fucked up thing is when you done been at that top and then somebody knocks you off of it, that pain is gonna do two things. Either your ass is gonna, we're gonna walk over you at a garbage can, like, damn, that's the former world champion. Damn, so sad.
Step over that nigga like the great white hope.
Yeah.
The great white hype. Step over that nigga.
Yep. Either you gonna do that, or either you gonna come back like Ali, like Ali, like Lennox Lewis, like Evander Holyfield, and you're gonna be more determined than ever to prove no. That's like, no, motherfucker, you got something that belonged to me. The fact that Tyson Fury understands that, the fact that he knows that, this makes this fight even more intriguing to me because, like I said, Deontay Wilder's been quiet. I've never seen this nigga that quiet. He's been quiet. A motherfucker like that quiet, oh, he's working on something, believe that. We don't know if it's going to work or not, but he's working on something. But when a motherfucker like that is that quiet, he's quiet because he knows what he has to do, and God willing, he's doing it. We're going to take some questions real quick. My man, Jay, Jay, you my dog, but you got to start writing these books, nigga. You know what, man? Come write for Three Kings, man. Fuck, nigga. Shit. Write an article for Three Kings, motherfucker. You might as well. You writing all this shit. He said, I think Wilder's putting in work. I just think his ego was fractured. But I feel Wilder's heart and mental is so strong that willing to go back to the drawing board and do what's necessary to try to win. Though I don't think he could win just because Fury's ring IQ is too high, but I think if he's able to feint better, slip and counter, and find new ways to set up his left hook and straight right on top of pivot and turn, he has a great shot at giving Fury some issues and possibly taking him out. Basically, what you're telling us, you want us to see the 2015 Deontay Wilder. Well, that ain't happening, bro.
Yeah. No, it ain't happening, man. That ain't happening.
Well, man, Kendrick Taylor said, 2K, when you say journeyman, is that like Calvin the banker, bro?
Hell yeah, boy. That boy Calvin Brock was terrible, man. I couldn't stand that dude. That's the same nigga that had the damn. That's the same nigga that had the damn the sausage packs for top of the head, bro. Remember the top of his head was so fucking wrinkled?
Yeah. But dog, do you remember
top of his head, man?
You remember when fucking Vladimir knocked that nigga out, dog? How he went down?
Yeah, I remember that shit. Hell yeah, I remember that shit, bro. I couldn't stand Calvin Brock, man. I couldn't stand that dude, man. That dude was him and Michael Grant, highly overrated, man.
Oh, yeah.
Highly overrated.
Yeah. No, that's a nigga that after suffering his first loss, that was it for him. He never recovered. Never. Right. That's a guy that was in there. I remember
was highly overrated.
I remember watching that fight when I heard he was fighting Lennox Lewis. I said, there's somebody out there that don't like Michael Grant, because there's no way, if you'd watched that Andrew Galata fight, and in that Andrew Galata fight, I think he had got knocked down a couple times in that fight. Now he wound up knocking Galata out, but the fact that Andrew Galata was able to put him down, and then you find out that his opponents land in the high 50s of their punches on him, I said, dog, there's no fucking way this dude should be in the ring with Lennox fucking Lewis. No fucking way. But somebody on that nigga's team Somebody on that nigga's team thought otherwise, and they threw that motherfucker in there with Lennox Lewis and got mollywopped, and that nigga was never saying. Hell, I even remember when Lennox Lewis fought that nigga Akawande. Remember that cat Akawande, another motherfucker. You know, threw that motherfucker in the ring, and we all saw what happened, right? All right, man. Let me read one more. My man mentioned Roman Martinez. I think that was when we was talking about, yeah, guys that win at one time, and or no, you talking about guys who low level cats that wind up being champions. Yeah, good shit, Mar Lucas. My man Kendrick, my man Kendrick Taylor, right? He said Thurman fucking around with those damn. Man, y'all leave Keefe Thurman alone, man. Y'all gotta stop fucking with my man Keefe Thurman, man. He said Lewis came back looking to take Rodman's head off. Most definitely. Mike James boxing say, what it do, fellas? Hey, you know how it is. Three Kings boxing, dog. We keep it moving. We keep it going, man. That's what we do around here, all right? All right, man, I'm going to move on to the next one till my man get in here. He'll be back. No worries, no worries. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one, all right? So, okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. All right, so you guys don't know, Red Spikes, who is one of the trainers for WBO welterweight champion Terence Crawford, right? Red Spikes, he claimed that Errol Spence size could be a huge issue for the unified, for the WBO champion. Now, again, go to 3kingsboxing.com for the lazy what's going on Sport Box. Let me read y'all what he said. He says, I'm not going to give away what we plan on doing because I've actually been watching a lot of Errol Spence here in this quarantine. I've been watching all his fights and watching them over and over. But I think that we have too much in the toolbox. We are too versatile. We can fight backwards. We can fight forward. We can fight righty. We can fight lefty. We can be defensive. We can be offensive if we want. We can fight mid-range. We can fight inside. We can fight long range. It's going to be a shock because I don't believe that everyone has seen completely what Terence can do. Terence, to me, has not given an A performance yet for what I have seen and been watching him since he was 12 years old, right? But this is where it gets kind of, deep. He says, his size, Terence is strong himself, which Terence is. I think Terence, one time, Terence said he blew up. He walks around like, 170, 175 at light heavyweight, right? He said, but Earl is a big guy, and having that guy try to press on you for 12 rounds, you know what I mean? And of course, he's got speed. He's got a good jab. But I think his size and his strength might be the number one issue, maybe. But Terence is strong. Terence is sneaky strong. So we'll see. It's just getting in there and figuring it out. Now, understand, he's talking about the size of Errol Spence and how that's going to be a problem. What's good, family? Mr. Eric R. Errol Spence's size could probably be a problem because he's right. Errol Spence is a very big welterweight. But I do agree with him on this aspect. Terence Crawford has a lot more things in the tool shed, right, than Errol Spence. Now, my only issue with Crawford right now is the level of competition he's been fighting. Sometimes that can bring a fighter down, right? So not necessarily. So it's not to say that Terence Crawford isn't the still top dude, but sometimes when you're not fighting, what's going on, family?
Man, this is some fucked up shit, bro. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, man. Everything just breaking at the same time right now, man. Phone won't work, laptop won't work, because I could barely hear you on my phone earlier.
Oh wow.
You'd be cutting in and out. I don't know how I sounded, but you was cutting in and out. I couldn't even hear you, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man.
Hey, it's all good. Listen, this 3KB, we deal with it and we keep on rolling. You know what I'm saying? Just like boxing is rolling. Maybe you know what, man? Fuck it, man. I'm gonna blame it on COVID-19, man. Yeah, it's COVID-19, man. Because We haven't blamed nothing on COVID-19 like everybody else, right? So fuck it, man. It's COVID-19.
I know, right? Yeah, maybe we should be out here bitching, moaning, and complaining, bro. That's maybe what we should be doing, bro. I'm gonna try to get back in here on my laptop, man. I'm gonna see if this shit works, bro.
All right. Well, we was talking about my man Red.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on.
There we go. There you go.
All right, bet. Now what were we talking about?
We was talking about how Red Spike said how Errol Spence size might be an issue. And I was talking about how I could kind of see where he's going with it, but although Terence Crawford has a lot more in the tool shed than Errol Spence, I mentioned, which like my man Kendrick Taylor said, that the level of competition Terence Crawford has been fighting hasn't been sharpening him, right? Yeah. So although one of the things we still have to look at is what's Errol Spence going to be like coming back from that car accident. We still got to look at that, right? But Errol Spence size could be an issue. And I get what Red Spikes is saying, which is I haven't seen that A performance from Terence Crawford. But when you're not fighting the top level dudes, it gets harder for you to give an A performance because you're not sharp enough to give that performance. As to where Errol has been fighting dudes that has brought something out of him. The only question mark to me about Errol is the car accident. But what do you think? Because like my man, exactly, the level of competition makes it a close fight for me. TC just hasn't faced that at 147. That's my thing. The level of competition been faced at 147. And then, had it not been for that car accident with Errol, I probably would edge him because of the level of competition. Now, Errol jumping right back in the fry. He's fighting Danny Garcia. If Terence Crawford don't fight a Sean Porter or Adonis Ugas and he fights a Kell Brook, I don't see how Kell Brook gets you ready for fucking Errol Spence. Go ahead, man.
Nah, man. Basically, at this point, you know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's experience at 140 and, his hard work, his will and determination, and his raw skill set is the only thing that's going to get him ready for Errol Spence, bro. That's it. Like, he'd have to fight Sean Porter or your Dennis Ugas, as I told y'all before. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to allow this motherfucker to be in my top 3 pound for pound if he doesn't fight either your Dennis Ugas or Sean Porter next, man. Real talk. Right. And Rick Muhammad said Bud's IQ. His IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's one of the smartest fighters in boxing, that's also going to basically be the thing that helps him out more than anything else, right? Uh-huh. So, and to be honest, quite honest with you, I do agree with what you guys are saying in terms of the level of competition, right? But his IQ is so good that I don't believe him fighting down to the level of competition is going to be a major factor. Okay. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to be a situation where you see Terence Crawford making dumbass mistakes in the ring because he was fighting Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, and Egidijus Kavaliauskas and Amir Khan. That's not why. You see what I'm saying? It would be if that were to happen, it'd be because of that opponent's style, not because he fought down to this level of competition. What I'm basically saying, in essence, is that opponent would have been able to make him do that, even if y'all caught him off of, being undisputed at 140. You see what I'm saying? So he's smart enough to where fighting down this level of competition is not going to affect him greatly when he steps it up to the elites at 147. However, he's getting older. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's getting older, let's just say if Spence is the same Errol Spence that he was before the car accident, it's going to be trouble. You see what I'm saying? Because you're right. There's nobody that he could fight that can prepare him for Errol Spence except Porter and fucking your Dennis Ugas, right? Mm-hmm. Ugas could prepare him for the boxing part of Errol Spence if he decides to box like he did against Mikey Garcia. And Sean Porter had already fought Errol Spence. So there's experience there, right? That Terence Crawford could gain, fighting Sean Porter and trying to emulate a style that Errol Spence was in there fighting Sean Porter with, right? In order to try to beat a Sean Porter. That's what he could do. And he could find out, okay, this is what Errol Spence was doing. I fought the guy that Errol Spence just had trouble with. So I know what can trouble Errol Spence. Do you understand that theory right there?
Yes, I do.
So that's what I'm saying. So those two guys are the ones that could prepare him for such a matchup. But again, it's not a situation where he's even looking at him. You're right. If he fights Kell Brook, even though Kell Brook fought Errol Spence, Kell Brook is not fighting at a high level right now, right? And to be quite honest with you, Kell Brook not at a high level. I mean, that might prepare you for like fucking Danny Garcia or somebody. You know what I'm saying? That might prepare you for Robert Guerrero, nigga. They're gonna prepare you for Errol Spence. This is Kell Brook not at a high level. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I agree about 95% of what you guys are saying, but I think the IQ is going to help him more than just a regular old fighter that's fighting motherfuckers, you know, at a downward spiral, or let me say this, at a downward level of opposition. But what Red Spikes is saying in terms of the size, I don't think that matters, man. Terence Crawford, I'll never forget this. When he was going up to 147, right? And people were saying, man, Terence Crawford's too small. Remember, he stepped on that scale and took a picture of it. The shit said like 187. And he put, people think I'm too small for 147. Terence Crawford's not a small guy, bro. He's not small for 147. You know what I'm saying? Now, Errol Spence is not small for is a big 147. I mean, Errol Spence could fight at 160, possibly 168. You know what I'm saying? I think Terence Crawford could cap out at 160. You know what I'm saying? If he wanted to, but he, you know, I think he'd be a little bit too short for that. But he could cap out at 160. You know what I'm saying? In terms of body mass and frame, he could cap out there. But it's not that much. It's really not that much of a difference in terms of mass and weight and how much these guys be holding on to their bodies and shit in between fights, right? Really isn't that big of a difference. Also, their height isn't that big of a difference. I think there's like a 1-inch height difference and maybe a couple of inches in reach. It's not that big of a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Red Spikes is talking about. I don't know why he said that, because for me personally, bro, I'm like, hey, man, I'm not going to say nothing like that in the media about my fighter.
I agree with that.
Motherfucker come to me and say, hey, man, what you think about your fighter fighting X, Y, and Z? I'm like, shit, nigga, X, Y, and Z ain't got shit from my guy. Yep. For real, man, that motherfucker beat this guy. Man, he beat this guy. And just like Jessica McCaskill did when you interviewed her. Oh. And you were like, you said, yeah, give me a prediction on when you fight, Cecilia Bracken. She said, oh, knockout, immediately. Immediately, yeah. Bo was like, oh, shit, hold on. You said you're going to knock out the queen? That's the queen. Undisputed since 2014, champion since 2009. You're going to knock out the queen? She's like, what, nigga? You know, the motherfucker ain't the queen of Chicago, motherfucker. She did. Right. She did. So that's exactly how you should react as a fighter getting those kind of questions, and as a trainer of a fighter that gets those kind of questions. Nobody's a problem. I don't know why he said this, bro. But, again, what do I always say these motherfuckers need, bro?
PR people. Exactly.
But at the same time, without PR people, they can't give us the banter and the talk that we so desperately love to get so that we could put these articles in place and these interviews in place for you guys, right? So let them talk. But at the end of the day, bro, I don't think it's that big of a factor. The factor that they should be talking about is what Errol Spence is going to come back, right? What he should have said was, I can't wait to see him fight Danny Garcia in September because I want to see what Errol Spence is going to be in the ring. Are we going to get that Errol Spence that could take a whole lot of damage like he did against Sean Porter and still win the fight? Shit, he's been taking damage his whole fucking career. Only fight he probably didn't take damage in was against Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Leonard Bundu or somebody like that, right? But he's been taking damage his whole career because he's one of those guys that will walk through shit to walk you down. Are we going to get that Errol Spence since the accident? Are we going to get some cautious Errol Spence that is afraid to get hit because something's internally fucked up, right? Physically and maybe mentally, right? And physically, he might have something wrong with him where he can't take the kind of damage he's used to taking. Mentally, he might not want to take that kind of damage anymore because he knows that something's physically fucked up with him internally, right? Or he may not know something's physically fucked up about him internally, and he might be cautious because he's like, damn, I don't know if I'm still fucked up. I got to change my style up a little bit. We don't know what Errol Spence we're going to get. That's really what Red Spike should have said. But, it is what it is, man.
Here's the thing. And my man actually took my point because I was gonna play devil's advocate, but I'm gonna leave that up to my man Jay, who actually said something really good. But I think for me, the reason why he said this, because he said, I've been looking at a lot of Errol Spence tapes during the quarantine. And I think what he saw is a dude that don't take a step backwards and has the intestinal fortitude to take whatever you got and come at you. And I think he's looking at that and he's saying to himself, Terence faced something like that, that could be a little difficult for him. Now, it's one thing to think that as a trainer while you're watching it. It's another thing to actually say it and then make it look like that's going to be a problem. That I agree with you. My man Jay, when we was talking about Terrence's level of competition, he's saying, 2K, is that why you think Bud has looked sloppy at times in the ring, especially in his last fights? That's what I was going to play devil's advocate on and say, well, because people are going to say, well, he got kind of rocked against that dude. What's his name?
Deontay Cavaliaskis.
Yeah, I was going to play devil's advocate and say, hey, but wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute, Prodigy. God damn it. Deontay Cavaliaskis wobbled the nigger. How do you explain that?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's complacency. I don't think it's him fighting down, to his level of opposition to where he can't become the Terence Crawford of old if Errol Spence is across the ring from him. It's complacency. Terence Crawford is that good that he's just like, whatever, nigga, I'll fuck this nigga up. That's what he's doing right now, man. Trust me, he was like that with Jose Benavidez and Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? Man, shit, Jeff Horn too. Fuck it. Add him in there. Because he knew he was gonna beat Jeff Horn. Man, I fuck nigga up. You know what I'm saying? The Terence Crawford that fought Victor Postal, that Terence Crawford would be ready for an Errol Spence, regardless if he fought Kell Brooks 16 times before he fought Errol Spence. He would be ready for an Errol Spence because that guy is smart enough to get himself up for that kind of fight. You see what I'm saying? It's the IQ. I tell you guys, boxing is 95% mental, man. You see what I'm saying? Listen, Victor Postal wasn't a boogeyman, but he was a guy that could have been a boogeyman at 140 had he not fought Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
If he had not fought Terence Crawford, he would have been a fucking boogeyman at 140, dog. Right? Danny Garcia ducked him. He beat the shit out of Lucas Matisse better than Danny did, right? So at the end of the day, bro, when Terence Crawford got in the ring with Victor Postal, listen, I remember the Vegas odds. I bet on the fight. Man, that fight was damn near even in the odds, man. Wow. It was damn near even, right? Crawford was a favorite by like -10 or some shit like that, bro. Barely a favorite. You see what I'm saying? So, Terence Crawford knew that he could beat Victor Postal. I'm not saying he didn't know that, but at the end of the day, he knew that it was nothing that he basically couldn't go into that fight complacent because of who Victor Postal was at that time. You see what I'm saying? So, but Amir Khan, Deontay Cavaliaskis, who just had a fucking draw with Ray Robinson, right? Fucking Jose Benavidez, a guy that Terence Crawford knew from way back that he knew he could already fuck up. And then Jeff Horn. I mean, I don't need to say nothing else beyond that. Jeff Horn.
It's too hot.
Right. Actually, that statement right there probably made Crawford complacent. Motherfucker training and shit over there in California talking about, y'all don't have air conditioning in here? I mean, geez, by golly. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't train with no goddamn AC in our gyms here in America. Nigga, what's wrong with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, bro, if I see an AC in the gym, nigga, I don't even want a membership.
I know, right? I gotta go.
I don't want no damn membership in here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that statement that Jeff Horn made alone probably made Bud complacent. It still beat the shit out of him. So at the end of the day, it's complacency. Trust. If a Sean Porter, your Dennis Ugas, or Errol Spence is on the other side of that ring, he's most definitely going to be in tip-top shape, mentally and physically, and be ready for that fight.
All right, man. Eric R said, "Will Keith Thurman prepare Bud for Earl?"
Yeah, he would. He would.
Good question. That's good.
I think so, because let me tell you something. Keith Thurman, whether you like him or not, or you call him Daffy or Darkwing, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's still one of the top fighters in the division. It's a mental thing, right? Again, physically, he doesn't fight like Errol Spence, but mentally, he's still an elite fighter. Mm-hmm. And there's still an opportunity to lose to this guy if you're not on your fucking P's and Q's.
Exactly.
So that's what fighting these guys does. like Sean Porter doesn't fight like Errol Spence, right? But I just told you that there'd be a common opponent there. So Terence Crawford would be probably studying Errol Spence before that fight to make sure he doesn't make certain mistakes that Errol Spence was making, which made that fight become a split decision, right? You know, he could learn off that. Then he'd be like, okay, at the same time of him studying his mistakes, he's also basically documenting that for whenever he fights Errol Spence, if he hasn't already done so. You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, Dennis Ugas, like I said, he doesn't fight like Errol Spence. He could probably bring the boxing aspect out of it. But the reason why these fights would matter is because these guys are top-level fighters in the division, and it prepares him mentally. You see what I'm saying? As long as it prepares him mentally, he knows, all right, man, I got to be on my P's and Q's. Even if Terence Crawford might not need that, it still prepares him mentally for a guy like Errol Spence, man.
I agree with that statement right there. Here's the reality of it is he can't go into there slacking. He can't go into there thinking this is going to be easy work. He has to, like my man Rick Muhammad said, sometimes you'll face people that make you raise your game and get up. We saw Daniel Jacobs do it with Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah.
Never repeated that performance, but fuck, we saw him do it.
Exactly.
You know? So I definitely agree that Thurman would make him get up for that. So we could see, I bet, that's just a one-off with you and these Koliaskis, right? Because clearly after Koliaskis did what he did, we saw Terence Crawford turned into beast mode on that nigga.
Right.
You know? He's all that. Oh, he reminded me of the Great White Hype. You trying to embarrass me in front of all these people?
Exactly, bro.
He's like, you trying to embarrass me in front of TV?
And that's a good indication of what you're saying is a good indication of how he can flip the switch. Exactly, bro. So when he needs to flip that switch, it's also a good indication that it was complacency. You see what I'm saying? And he could flip that switch and be like, oh shit, this motherfucker just dropped me. All right, about to fuck this nigga up. Did the same thing with Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Sure did.
He thought Gamboa was too small. He said that. Complacency, man. Until I believe he got dropped in that fight. He said, all right, about to fuck this nigga up now. Again, boy falling all over the ring in that fight, man.
Oh, he was falling all over the place, wasn't he?
Exactly.
My man Jay said Crawford has the 2-inch reach and they are about the same height. While I agree Crawford is more versatile than Spence, Crawford tends to get reckless at times and Spence could possibly take advantage of that. You know, the thing about that statement, Jay, is I would agree, but here's the only problem. Why? Is that, yeah, Crawford get reckless, but Earl don't necessarily move his head or he doesn't position himself to take advantage of that. Look at the Sean Porter fight. Sean Porter was able to spin off Earl and put him in the corner. Earl couldn't get out. He couldn't spin back to get out. And Earl also, when we talking about Tyson, Earl is another dude that when he achieved what he achieved, he kind of fell off. He openly admitted that in the article that he kind of fell off. So although I hear what's being said, I still favor Crawford only because one thing, Crawford lives, sleep, eats, and breathe that boxer's fucking life. We have evidence that Earl sometimes doesn't.
Does not.
And in big fights, he said it. Porter was a big fight, and that nigga slacked. So I hear you, man. I hear you, man.
Well, my thing is this. Let me get some of that, dog. Let me get some of that, nigga.
Go ahead, man. Let me
pass the plate up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me get that, dog. Look, man. Look, Errol Spence to me doesn't have the same level of IQ as Terence Crawford. Also, Terence Crawford has a huge tool in his tool chest. I mean, this tool can fix anything, bro. You know, it can act as a wrench. It can act as a Phillip. It can act as a flathead. It can act as a tri-star. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could screw any screw into anything and unscrew any screw out of anything, right? And that's the fact that this motherfucker can switch from southpaw to fucking orthodox and back.
Boom.
That is huge, bro. When you're fighting a guy that can switch hit, that's like fighting or that's like preparing for 2 fighters in one night, man. Because Terence Crawford is a guy that can fight southpaw just as good as he fights orthodox. That is ridiculous. And that is a fucking problem. If Errol Spence presents a problem, because Errol Spence is a southpaw. If Errol Spence presents a problem, right, for Terence Crawford as an orthodox fighter, guess what? Terence Crawford switches. Now it's an even playing field. You see what I'm saying? Also, Terence Crawford's a guy that can fucking read you in the ring and adapt to you real time. I'm going to say something. People might not like it. I have not seen that from Errol Spence. I've seen Errol Spence get gritty in the ring and basically outmuscle you, outpower you, basically have more willpower than you, right? But I really haven't seen Errol Spence make an adjustment to where, well, let me say this, because Kell Brooks won. Kell Brooks won. Let me hold that. Let me hold that, Bo. I'm gonna give it to you real quick. Hold that, dog.
Yeah, because I got some. Yeah, go ahead.
That. But I haven't, let me say this. I haven't seen Errol Spence make an adjustment against a fighter that has adjusted to him. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for, nigga. Damn, that shit tastes sweet, nigga. That's what I wanted, right? Right? Because look, Kell Brook was beating his ass the first, 4 rounds or something like that, 4 or 5 rounds, right? Errol Spence adjusted and basically fucking overwhelmed Kell Brook and broke him the fuck down, and Kell Brook never adjusted, right?
Yeah.
If Errol Spence makes an adjustment against Terence Crawford, right? Or, makes an adjustment against Terence Crawford and starts breaking Crawford down, guess what? Crawford doesn't stay the same like Kell Brook did. He doesn't stay the same like Sean Porter did, right? He definitely doesn't stay the same like Mikey Garcia. I don't know what the fuck Mikey Garcia was doing, man. But he doesn't stay the same like that either. Well, Terence Crawford makes an adjustment as well. And his adjustment might be better because he's smarter. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling you guys, man. IQ is a big fucking difference here in this fight. Also, we're all assuming that Errol Spence is the guy that is going to be the guy that he was before the car crash, right? But you can't just ignore that big ass elephant in the room. That is huge. We got to see. We got to see what he does against Danny Garcia in September. Then we can go back to saying, all right, this is my prediction against Terence Crawford. But until we see Errol Spence, bro, we cannot make a well-articulated and educated prediction because we don't know what Errol Spence is going to come in a couple of months, bro.
It's interesting you say that because when he fought Sean Porter, and this is what makes what you say exceptionally valid. He fought Sean Porter. He made an adjustment. Then Porter made an adjustment. Earl made an adjustment. Porter made another adjustment. Then Earl just tried. Then Earl was like, fuck it. I just got to grind it out.
Right.
Exactly what the fuck happened in that fight. That's why he wound up knocking him down in that 12th. Right. So the difference here is Sean Porter is nowhere near the type of skillful boxer that Crawford is.
Absolutely not.
So even if Earl's able to make an adjustment, Crawford make an adjustment. Earl makes the adjustment, Crawford make another adjustment. Now, if Earl says, I got to grind it out, Crawford is going to make an adjustment and grind it out.
Well,
see what I'm saying?
I think you're being nice with the adjustments. I only saw one adjustment in that fight from Errol Spence, and it was basically learning how to handle Sean Porter mauling him. And that's how he knocked him down in that fight. I didn't see no adjustments from Sean Porter. That nigga did exactly what he could do, the only thing he could do, and that was try to sack this nigga for a 10-yard loss. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what he was doing the whole fight, and that's exactly all he could do. I didn't see Sean making many adjustments. Now if we're talking like...
he switched up the attack. And that's not necessarily.
I really didn't see that either. Yeah, like he if we're talking like minute details, I mean, his footwork, he made an adjustment to his footwork. You know what I'm saying, to provide more angles later on in the fight. But at the end of the day, as a whole, like adjustments, we're talking like going from plan A to B, bro. Like that didn't happen for Sean Porter, but it did happen for Errol Spence. And at the end of the day, when he switched to a plan B, he still had that mindset like, shit, nigga, we just gonna fight then, and I'm just gonna out grit you. He can't do that against Terence Crawford, man.
No, he can't.
Because Crawford's gonna have a plan A, B, C, and fucking D. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's too smart for that. He's not going. If Terence Crawford knows he's losing a fight, or let me say this, because it probably hasn't happened that way. If Terence Crawford knows he's not getting the best of a particular opponent doing something, he changes it immediately, man. Like real time, dog.
He does.
Errol Spence doesn't have that ability. Not that fast.
No.
Takes Errol Spence a little bit of time to make those adjustments.
I agree with that.
So I'm saying, man, the IQ is huge, bro. It's a big differential in this fight, man. That's why I was always picking Terence Crawford to beat Errol Spence, man, because of the IQ alone, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now with this accident, shit, I won't make a prediction, but I'll just say this. If Errol Spence if he's not the same guy he was before, man, Terence Crawford might beat him easily, man. If he's faltered from who he used to be, Terence Crawford might beat him easily, man. Yeah. I'm just saying.
You know what's funny is, too, after what I saw against Easy Koliakis, I actually question if he can outgrit Terence Crawford. I'm just keeping it real. If his plan is to outgrit him, I don't know if you outgrit him, because what I saw against Easy Koliakis and what I saw against Hank Lundy, Terence Crawford shows if you want to go grit for grit, motherfucker, I got grits for days. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Homemade Nebraska grits for your Texas ass.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly, man. Exactly.
My man Ricardo said Earl isn't the superstar he receives credit for being, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I think Errol's rated where he needs to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I kind of get what Rick is saying, because before he fought Mikey Garcia, motherfuckers were putting him top 5 pound for pound. I thought that shit was ludicrous.
Yeah, it was above ludicrous.
Yeah, that I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And Errol Spence ain't even in my pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying?
And he's still not.
This nigga. Well, he's in mine now. He beat Sean Porter, became unified champion. He's in there now. I think I got him at like. I got to go to 3kingsboxing.com because there's a pound for pound list on the homepage. I think I got him at number 7 or 8, maybe 6, somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely in there now, being a unified champion. But I mean, before he fought fucking Mikey Garcia, and niggas had him at like number 5 and 4 and shit. I remember I seen pound for pound lists where Errol Spence was above Alexander Usyk. I'm like, man, what the fuck are y'all talking about, man? There's a bunch of dick riding ass niggas out here, bro. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way before Mikey, this motherfucker should have been above Alexander Usyk, man. Stop,
I agree with
that
100%.
You know what I'm saying? He's not above him now, in my opinion. But whatever, bro. Anyway, yeah, I agree with Rick in that sentiment. But now, at this moment in time, I think he's where he needs to be, man. Beating Sean Porter was probably, in my opinion, the best win of his career. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
The way he did Mikey Garcia would have been the best win, but the only reason why it's not is because Mikey was smaller. But it's Mikey's fault. Mikey fucking called him out. Oh, man, I'm going to one. It's not Errol Spence's fault whatsoever that fight turned out the way it did, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because Mikey was the dumbass that wanted to jump up, 2 divisions from 135. I know he fought at 140, but he went back down to 135, beat fucking Robert Easter Jr., and then went straight to 147 after that. Mm-hmm. He wanted to do that. That's his fault. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the styles, given the styles and given how he didn't go through any adversity, that's probably not the best win of his career. It's probably the most lucrative win of his career, right? Because he got the most money out of it. Also, Mikey Garcia is a fucking 4-division champion. Sean Porter's not a 4-division champion, neither is Kell Brook. So it's probably the most lucrative win, but the best win in terms of him going through adversity was Sean Porter, and that's what got him in the top 10 pound for pound for me.
All right, we're going to take one more. We're going to move on. My man Eric R. said, 2K, I noticed Bud didn't adjust much with rangy fighter Benavidez. Was that because of his length?
Oh, he sure did adjust, man. You got to watch that fight again, my man.
I was waiting on you.
You got to watch that fight again, my man. He adjusted like a motherfucker. He adjusted so much so he got the knockout. You got to watch that, my brother. I could spend too much time on it because we got to go to the next topic. But yeah, watch it again, man. And hit me up if you still don't understand. He adjusted like a motherfucker against Jose Benavidez, man. Big time.
Most definitely, yeah. I was just gonna say, man, maybe you might want to watch that again, dog. I can't think of a fight where the nigga didn't make an adjustment that was needed. Yeah. Because we've often said this, and I'll say it again. Outside of Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward, out of all the fighters, now if we talking active fighters, you got only one that you can say maybe has a higher ring IQ than him is Vasyl Lomachenko. That's it. And
that's questionable. I don't think
exactly.
Vasyl's IQ is. I think Terence Crawford is the smartest fighter in boxing right now. I used to say Terence Crawford, Andre Ward, and Guillermo Rigondeaux when Floyd Mayweather was retired.
Yep.
I said it was those 3. you know, Rigo in his last couple of fights showed that he's dumb now. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bo ain't laughing. I'm just saying, bro. Look, man, that motherfucker. Look, Richard Brill, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Richard Brill. Hey,
real tired of you, man.
I'm just saying, man. Look, Rigo's a dumbass fighter right now. You saw him against, I always forget the dude's name, Jose Ceja, and then fucking Laborio Solis. You saw that, man.
I did.
For some reason, Rigo's a dumb fighter right now.
His
dog.
legs, dog. Them. How old is he? 37? 46?
No, 57.
Them legs, baby. Them legs, baby. You know what I'm saying? Shit,
I don't know, man. I saw the legs again. Nah, man, I saw the legs in the second half against Laborio Solis.
Yeah, because he spent the first half not doing shit with him.
Hell yeah.
I got to say these motherfuckers for the second half. Shit, I can't waste this rod on all this shit right here.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I think Terence Crawford, IQ-wise, is the smartest fighter in boxing, man. It's close. You know, there's fighters behind him that are very close. But I think given what he's able to do and how he utilizes his tools and how he fucking adjusts in real time at a very fast pace. He adjusts at a very fast fucking pace. As Bo just mentioned about Kavaliauskas. He got dropped and then immediately flipped the switch, bro. That's because of his IQ. He's definitely the smartest fighter in boxing right now.
Yeah, I would have no problem agreeing with anybody said it. All right, man. Billy Joe Saunders, baby. Listen, Billy Joe is out here in them streets.
Nah, man, he don't get that, man. Nah, man. Let me tell you something, man. I'll tell you something right now, man. Billy Joe Saunders is out there in the mountains somewhere, man. Yeah, high altitude, man. Brain getting all fucked up. Nigga not getting enough oxygen to the brain and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's where he at, bro. He on these mountaintops, man.
Before I go, we got to say good evening, listening in time. Mama Denise, she said this earlier.
What's up, Mama Denise?
All right. I know I might have missed some of y'all, but you always got to pay homage, you know what I'm saying, to the OG. You
gotta
can't
respect the OGs, man.
Gotta pay homage to the OG, fellas.
Word up. Hey, if y'all want that kind of respect, and probably some of y'all old ass niggas in here with young looking fucking pictures, man. Put your real picture up.
Hey man, hey, hold on, dog. What kind of shit is that, man?
Look, my man Rick Muhammad look like he like 25 in his picture. That nigga 89 years old, man. Put your real picture up, boy.
Hey, Rick is the only nigga I know that goes and dies and graves on his shit, that cocoa shea butter.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, man. Rick is a real OG, man. I fuck with that nigga. I fuck with Rick, man. He a real OG, bro, for real.
that nigga remind me of J. Jonah Jameson and shit.
Hell yeah.
No, he's a real OG, though. That's our dog, man. As a matter of fact, go to threekingsboxing.com. Check out all the interviews he had with the whole Gary Russell family and the recent interview coming up with Sean S.S. Simpson, all right, who's in camp with Terence Crawford.
Exactly.
So that's going to be dropping tonight. So be ready for that, man. All right, so Billy Joe Saunders, dog. Billy Joe Saunders is saying that Canelo's in his world now if they fight without a crowd. Billy Joe was hoping and praying that we get it without a crowd, right? And I think part of the reason why he's saying that is because he said, listen, Canelo packed stadiums. You know, he said, I barely fill up the ground at a football field, right? But I think part of the reason why Billy might be saying that is because maybe, just maybe, Billy thinks that without the fans, the judges won't be influenced. And I can maybe get a fair decision against Canelo because he ain't knocking him out. I don't hit like Daniel Jacobs. Okay, I don't hit like Gennady Golovkin. You ain't knocking him out. So if I ain't knocking him out, I got to hope that without people in the stands, that without, you know, the proverbial knife in the judge's back, that without that, I may have a shot at beating Canelo, or at the very least, get that mysterious knockout draw. I may have a shot.
Hell yeah. Give me the knockout draw, man. I'll be satisfied,
I'll be
man.
right. But I think what Billy Joe ain't account for is, hey man, once that check cash, it could be crowds, it could be no crowd. They come to the stadium with the first 8 rounds scored already, baby.
Right.
What you think about this, man? Is Billy thinking too much into this?
Absolutely, man. It ain't got shit to do with the crowd, nigga. You got to get rid of Canelo's backing. That's what you got to get rid of. You got to get rid of Canelo's promoters, managers, hell, even Eddie Reynoso. You got to get rid of all the backing Canelo has on the business side before you can say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I could get a decision. Ain't got nothing to do with the fans. Golden Boy be paying these motherfuckers off, man. You got to get rid of Golden Boy, dog. Sign them with fucking banner promotions. Then you got an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But that shit obviously ain't going to happen, right, bro? Nope. So at the end of the day, man, look, Billy Joe Saunders and my man, I got to put this up, man. This shit made me laugh. He said, fuck Billy Ho Sandra. Look, bro. That's fucked up. But look, man, Billy Joe, bro, he's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised when he beat the shit out of David Lemieux the way he did. And it's not because I rate David Lemieux. I really don't. I don't think David Lemieux, I never thought he was shit. I mean, David Lemieux lost to fucking Joaquim Alcine. Oh, you know, he lost to Marco Antonio Rubio. You know what I'm saying?
That was the one for me that fucked me up.
Yeah. Yeah,
bro. Knocked out by the nigga, I think, too.
Yeah, I think he got knocked. I don't know. He might have got knocked out by both of them, bro. Joaquim Alcine got me. I was like, what the fuck? You know, now, I think Joaquim Alcine, he beat one of the Sims brothers, though. I can't remember if it was Travis or Tarvis. Yeah. It was either Travis or Tarvis. I like the Sims brothers, man. I like Travis Sims, dog. But, you know, them niggas didn't have no amateur background. They was just beating up niggas because they knew how to fight. Exactly. Joaquim Alcine, you know, he's a polished fighter, but he wasn't good. He just had better tricks, you know, had better tools of the trade because he had an amateur background, you know. And that was the same thing with David Lemieux. But goddamn, David Lemieux was brought along a lot better than the Sims brothers. You see what I'm saying? So when he lost to him, I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, never rated David Lemieux, dog. Right? So it was a style, right? The way David Lemieux comes forward. Billy Joe Saunders, to me, never showed that kind of footwork before, right? Remember, go back to when he fought Chris Eubank Jr., right? That fight was a split decision win for Billy Joe, right? That's because Billy Joe didn't display the kind of fucking footwork he did against David Lemieux, right? Look at Artur Akavov and Willie Monroe. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't moving like that, dog, right? You know, but so I figured David Lemieux was going to give him some trouble. I thought Billy Ho would win. You know what I'm saying? But I thought, you know, David Lemieux would give him some trouble. Man, that footwork he displayed in that fucking fight, I could no longer call him Billy Ho. Yeah. I gave him his name back. He Billy Joe now. You know what I'm saying? So if Billy Joe is able to replicate that, which I might add, in his last fight, he did not. Billy Joe was caught up against the ropes and shit by a guy nobody fucking knows. A little nigga named She-Fat. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Some nigga named She-Fat had him up against the ropes, bro. That's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So if he fucking fights like that against Canelo, he probably gets knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. One thing you don't want to do is get caught up against the ropes. And that's why I don't think Caleb Plant beats Canelo, because Finger Butt had him up against the ropes. You see what I'm saying? So you can't be up against the ropes against Canelo. That's a fucking absolute no-no, bro. You gotta use your footwork, move around the ring, right? That's how you beat Canelo. That's how Floyd Mayweather did it. That's how Erislandy Lara, in my opinion, did it, right? Shit, that's how Austin Trout was doing it before he got knocked down, right? Using that jab, moving around the fucking ring. Jab, jab, move, jab, jab, move. Make this motherfucker come forward, right? Billy Joe has the ability to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the fucking day, bro, if he falters and does what he's been doing his last couple of fights, man, he gonna get fucked up, man. And it got nothing to do with the fans, bro. It ain't got shit to do with the fans. It ain't got shit to do with Golden Boy paying off 1 or 2 judges before that fight happens, right? At the end of the day, it will matter what Billy Joe Saunders does. But I'll submit, even though he could be winning the entire fight, dog, just like Floyd Mayweather did. Motherfucker win 12 rounds to 0. Somebody gonna get that fight to Canelo. And Bo, it ain't got nothing to do with no fucking fans, man. So at the end of the day, and one thing I'll say before I pass it over to you, at the end of the day, you mentioned, he said, I ain't got the power of Daniel Jacobs. I ain't got the power of Gennady Golovkin. Well, that shit don't matter anyway. You just don't have the power of like fucking Deontay Wilder or motherfucking the Incredible Hulk, nigga, because Canelo's chin is granite. He don't get knocked out. Canelo got hurt against Golovkin, but it was a little hurt. You know, like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What? It wasn't, a nigga wasn't staggering, nothing like that. Yeah, a little bit.
That stung.
Damn, nigga, that shit. Hold on, nigga. Let me shake my head a little bit. That motherfucker really caught me. That's all that was.
Right.
Dog, I was ringside when Daniel Jacobs landed that big ass fucking left hand. Nigga, you heard that shit throughout T-Mobile Arena, nigga. It sounded like Daniel Jacobs had a motherfucking speaker and an amplifier in his goddamn glove, nigga. It was loud. Boom! Sounded just like that, bro. Canelo didn't budge. He didn't budge, right? So even though you might have the power of those guys, you still ain't knocking them out. So you gotta literally dominate this dude, bro. Like you gotta beat him somewhat like Floyd Mayweather did, probably better than that, because Floyd Mayweather still had a name and still ended up with a majority decision win. You know what I'm saying? You probably got to do it way better than Floyd did, man, to be able to beat this dude on the cards. And you can't. So at the end of the day, ain't got shit to do with this backing, man.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because when Daniel Jacobs hit him, he boom, and that nigga stepped by. Oh shit, this nigga.
Bro,
Daniel Jacobs like, oh shit, this nigga here.
Nigga, I'll tell you what, dog, that debilitated, you know, and Daniel Jacobs, bro.
Yeah,
that debilitated him, bro. Nigga, I don't even react at the fights, bro. You know, we be at the fights, but we don't react and shit. You know what I'm saying? We just be sitting there watching the fight.
Don't talk to motherfuckers. Yeah. Well, you don't talk to motherfuckers.
I don't talk to motherfuckers. We commentate on the fight. Oh, motherfucker need to do this, need to do that. Oh, good work doing this, doing that, whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, when he landed that shot, even I was like, oh shit, damn. Even I did that. and he didn't move, man. He actually threw a combination after getting hit by that.
Yeah,
this nigga's chin is out of this world, man.
The nigga's head just turned like you see in TV.
Canelo chin is out of this world, bro. That's all I gotta say, man.
Man, listen. At the end of the day, I see what Billy Joe Saunders is trying to say, and I think Billy Joe is trying to motivate himself. He's trying to get himself up and going, because the reality is, fans or no fans, Canelo's not in your world. You're in Canelo's world, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know why you in Canelo's world? Because when you walk in that arena, it will be a Golden Boy event. Yep. When you step in that ring, it will say Golden Boy on that fucking ring. Okay? When you walk around and they announce the judges, they will say Judge Adley Bird, GBE,
Adelaide Bird, fucking Levy Martinez, yes. Stanley Krista Doodoo.
Yeah, I'm saying? Yep. They'll say all of them, and then at the end, they'll say Adley Bird, GBE. Stanley Kristen Doodoo, GBE. You know what that stands for? Golden Boy Employee.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay. And then there's one other thing you up against Billy Joe Saunders. That $365 million his own gave Canelo Alvarez. Oh, they not trying to have you win and fuck that shit up.
No, sir. Billy Joe is not about to beat no Canelo Alvarez and fuck up that 365 deal. No. Absolutely not.
That motherfucker, we just had coronavirus hold us hostage. You don't sit your ass down some goddamn way.
Now, let me say this, though. This is the flip side, though, Bo. Maybe they could have Billy Joe Saunders beat him. You know why? Because it would build a bigger money fight in the rematch, just like they did with Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua. And I'm just going to throw an arbitrary number out there, right? If Andy Ruiz Joshua, the first fight, was a $30 million fight, the second one was like a $70 million fight.
Yes, it was.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, don't be surprised if something like that happens with Billy Joe and Canelo, man. They're under the same banner. So, Canelo's a Golden Boy. Billy Joe's a Matchroom. They both fighting for the zone. The zone is the one that's running that shit, bro. So Don't think that can't happen, bro. That can happen. That's the flip side of all this, man.
Yeah, you're right. It most definitely well can. And don't think Oscar ain't above maybe selling Canelo out. He might not be above that. He might, you know, because all he got to do is not pay the judges.
Right.
Well, go out there and do it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
You know? But no, at the end of the day, though, like me and you talking about crowd or no crowd, that's not what if Billy Joe is thinking that without the crowd, it's an easy Canelo, that's the wrong thought process to have. Okay? Because regardless whether you have a crowd or don't have a crowd, the crowd doesn't change who the fighter Canelo is. That doesn't change that. That's what you have to train and deal with. The fighter that Canelo is. Fuck that crowd shit, dog. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's like when you like when you're in the gym and you're sparring. Is there a crowd? So what makes you the fighter that you is in the gym? Ain't no crowd in that gym. Right. So what makes you that fighter? See what I'm saying? So no, man. They saying, my man, boy, I tell you, boy, hey, we gotta love our people. They go in. They're gonna have a sniper in the audience just in case he knocked out.
I'm telling you, bro. Man, that motherfucker gonna get sniped up like JFK. Trying to tell y'all, man. Straight up, bro.
Oh man.
Hey, my man Rick Muhammad, he was talking about that Daniel Jacobs left hook that landed. Yeah. Nah, man, Canelo did not roll with that shit. That's what made it so fucking exceptionally ridiculous, bro. He didn't roll. Canelo got caught slipping head on the center line, and Daniel Jacobs landed. He winded that bitch up and landed it flush on the chin, and didn't even budge this guy, man. Yeah. He didn't roll with that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, Triple G, and Danny Garcia have the toughest chins in boxing right now, pound for pound. Canelo, Triple G, and Danny Garcia, man.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue it because Gennady Golovkin, even in that Derevyanchenko fight, it wasn't the headshots, it was the body shots that hurt his ass.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't the headshots at all.
Well, we called out the body shots on Gennady Golovkin way back when he fought Willie Monroe Jr. Willie Monroe was fighting him on the inside and touching his body, and I saw that then. Triple G literally lowered his hands like, "Oh shit, fuck it, I'll take it to the head." You know what I'm saying? So I saw that shit we both saw it way back then.
Sure did.
Bro. You know what I'm saying? He hates it to the body, bro.
Yeah. Hell, that's the reason why they was like, no, we ain't fighting no Andre Ward. That nigga's a killer to the body. You motherfuckers crazy. You motherfuckers crazy.
Andre Ward could have probably made Triple G take a knee, bro.
Hell yeah.
He would have been tearing his fucking body up on the inside, man. Just like he did Kovalev.
No shit, yep.
You know? Kovalev was that invincible force that had never been knocked out or nothing like that, bro. You know, he had been knocked down, I think, 2 times against Darnell Boone, and then he got knocked down by what's that boy named? Caparelli. Blake Caparello. Yeah, he got knocked down by him. It was a counterpunch. But other than that, you know, those guys weren't working the body the way Andre Ward did to get him down. Those, you know, those were situations where they nigga just got caught up, right? And Andre Ward broke him the fuck down, bro. You really think he wouldn't be able to do that to Triple G, a guy he's bigger than? You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, most definitely. We're gonna take one before we get on up out of here. Eric R said, only dude I could see going in there with Canelo and Golden Boy wouldn't be a factor is a healthy Ward.
Only other dude I could see going in there with Canelo and Golden Boy wouldn't be a factor is a healthy Ward. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man. Eric, Floyd Mayweather went in there with him. And Golden Boy was still a factor. So you're telling me Andre Ward is more popular than Floyd Mayweather? Absolutely the fuck not. Actually, Andre Ward probably get robbed just the same. Andre Ward was not a big name fighter. Remember that, guys. Andre Ward was not a big name. Andre Ward was one of those guys that was sitting at the top of the pound for pound list and nobody was talking about. Actually, a lot of niggas was hating on him. You know what I'm saying? Ah, man, Andre Ward always fighting Oakland in his backyard and shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really that good. Man, he won a Super 6. He fought he fought somebody in Atlantic City during the Super 6 tournament. I can't remember what the fuck it was. But I was like, yeah, you know, he traveled throughout the Super 6. Ah, man, I don't give a fuck, man. Nigga whack, nigga. Now I don't give a fuck. He's still sorry in the motherfucker. I'm like, all right, man, I guess. I mean, I don't know what you're looking at. Darnell Boone, and he dropped him. Okay, and fucking Andre Ward won by unanimous decision. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was always a need to defend Andre Ward, bro. So, given the fact that his name wasn't that big, right? Given the fact that Floyd Mayweather, the nigga was that dude at that time, he fought Canelo and still had a scorecard against him, right? They most definitely would have did it against Andre Ward.
If you're talking about like a healthy Ward now after Kovalov, a healthy Ward that's part of that ESPN brand, at best, he gets a draw. That's at best.
Yep.
But I don't see him beating Canelo only because of the fact, and you can't add more to what you said.
Right.
If you look at what they did to Floyd, this was Floyd, Mr. Las Vegas, Mr. built me a shine at the MGM.
Statue.
A statue. Okay, a shine with all my shit at the MGM. Mr. Give me a stake of your business. Got a majority decision against Canelo. I doubt Andre Ward gets the W, healthy or otherwise. I know he's gonna go with this one. I like this. Kendrick Taylor said Abel Sanchez was the greatest hype man ever. GGG knocked out light heavyweights. Ward came along, niggas put on blindfold.
Exactly, bro. That's exactly what they did, man. They didn't want no fucking trouble. Well, like, let's get this shit cracking, man. We don't make fights in the media, man. Let's get this shit cracking. Oh, you know, we didn't say he can knock out heavyweights. I don't remember saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's really, dog. The motherfucker had amnesia. Both of them did. Get the fuck out of here, man. They knew what time it was, man.
They sure did, man. Listen, I want to thank all you guys for joining us, all you guys for coming in. As always, as you see, it don't matter what the fuck happened, no matter what the fuck is going on, this motherfucker runs. All right? We don't bitch, we don't moan, we don't complain. We adapt.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
So go to 3kingsboxing.com for more of that adaptation in our articles and our interviews. HNIC, take us out.
Y'all know what to do, man. Go to Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, Facebook.com/3kingsboxing. And of course, right here on YouTube, the Prodigy of Boxing Talk, every single day, 7 o'clock to 7:30 Eastern, 6 o'clock to 6:30 Central, 4 o'clock to 4:30 Pacific. And most importantly, go to 3kingsboxing.com for your source of pure, unadulterated boxing information. 100% authentic, unbiased, unfiltered. We bring that real shit better than anybody. And like my man Bo said, we know how to fucking adapt. COVID-19, HIV, you know, nigga, glaucoma, nigga, chlamydia, don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We adapted, nigga. Gonorrhea, we adapted, nigga. Word up. Until tomorrow, dog. We out this bitch.